Hello, hello, everyone. We are about to go on live. Let's get this. Yes, I'm gonna do my hair while I'm waiting, and I'm gonna pull my little fro out, and I'm just gonna wear an afro puff. As you can see me, I'm gonna move this. I've got this band. I want y'all to see it. If this is just, some of you wondered if this would be okay. Just remember, just from end to end, there's no really metal in there. If the metal is there, most of the times it gets cut. There's this like nylon glue that they put in there. That's really, I don't know if it's called it's nylon, but anyway, it's a glue, but it has a almost like a really thin slick look to it and feel. So it's really a lot better for the hair. So I'm going to use that. So don't worry about this particular one. This one is okay. And you just put it, oops, I think I got my forehead. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to make an afro puff. So I'm going to bring all the way up. It's waiting to go on. And let's get a nice puff. Hi there. I see you guys are joining in. Then I'm going to get my chat room open. Yeah, I think this may end up being a bigger fro. So let's see if I'm going to pull. Well, you know, even if I make the big fro, I still have to put my headset on. So let's see what happens. Because we're starting.
Memphis. The opinions and comments of the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management.
I'm just going to bring that forward. I just want y'all to see how easy it is to work with your hair. Here we go. As we come on the air, you guys can see. Not just room.
Is she a medical doctor?
Nah.
No, she's a hair doctor. Oh, I get it. She's a hair doctor.
Here we go.
Paging the hair doctor. Paging the hair doctor. Paging the hair doctor. Trichologist Lisa Akbari.
Hello, hello, everyone. Your hair doctor's here for you today. Hi, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, and for the next 60 minutes, I'm going to be your hair doctor, and I'm going to answer all your questions today. I am really, really excited about today's show because we're going to talk about, that's right, our hairline. We're going to talk about that hairline thinning, the unruly hairline, the gray hairline that just does not seem to behave. Oh my goodness, why does our hairline always looks frizzy and not to be in place? How do we make it lay down? We're going to talk about our hairline today. So I'm here. Thank you so much for joining me. And my phone lines are open today at 901-535-9342. My chat line is open as well. If you're viewing me on the internet, as I see you guys loading up, welcome to the show. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, it was such a blast. And I know some of you guys are out there doing your after Thanksgiving shopping. I did online. What little I didn't do a whole lot. I'm just trying to keep it into the season and not get all commercialized. But you know, when my babies were little, I have twin daughters, and when they were small, I was right out there with the Black Friday group. Yeah, my hair is getting a little long to do that thing that I normally do in the front. So I'm going to open it up like that. What do y'all think? I think that's kind of cute. All right. Well, I'm here and I'm so glad. And I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. You know, it's just such a blessing to just be here. I mean, that's what Mark was saying today. I asked him about his Thanksgiving. He said, hey, you know, it's just blessing to be here. And I thought that is so profound. That is so true. And then it's just family. It's family. The gift from God. Whoever your family is, you know, sometimes it's a family that's blood family. Sometimes it's a family that's someone you've just met. It's sometimes, you know, just whoever, just being able to, because so many people are alone during the holidays and it's a hard time for them. But so I want to say to you that may not have someone out there during these holidays, You're my family. Remember, you do have a family, a cyber family. And that's me. I'm your cyber family. So thank you so much for tuning in today. We're going to talk about hairline. And my phone lines are open and my chat room is open. I'm here each and every Sunday, as you guys know, from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So let's make sure our chat room is open so that we can see and hear from you. My phone lines, yes, they are open, and I'll be able to hear from you. You can also call 1-800-503-9342. That's 1-800-503-9342. Okay, so let's get you guys online right now. Let's see here. Okay, so where do we have? Let's see, who do we have on our chat room? Okay, let's go down to hairline thinning. There we are. Let us open up. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Let me mute myself out. There we go. So, guys, I'm going to just say hello. And we also have, oops, no, I didn't do that, right? We also have some programs that I can offer for hairline thinning. So I'm going to be putting some of that up there today as well. So I'm just going to say hello. Hello there, everyone. Okay, now let's get to the show. Let's get right to the topic. You know, hairline thinning is a big deal. And many people, the thing that happens a lot with folks that are losing their hair and having problems with hairline thinning, we just have to first, again, whenever I talk about hair loss, we have to talk about the two categories. And so I want to start with that. Then we want to talk about why we lose hair on that particular category. What are some of the reasons why that happens? Then we want to talk about the hairline that's there but seems to be unruly. Why do we have problems with our hairline laying down as we want it to? Especially like ladies out there. And I want to address some of the ladies who wear relaxers, because you want that hairline to be straight and lay down. You feel like that hairline here actually frizzes up and it does not behave, and you want to relax it often. So are you really relaxing new growth, or are you relaxing something that's frizz? And that could be a contributing factor to why you are thinning on the hairline. So we want to look at all that. If you're wearing protective styles for those natural ladies, or even ladies who are transitioning and choosing to wear protective styles, then why are we losing hair on that hairline? It could be traction. It could be friction. Something as simple as wearing a bonnet to bed can be a problem for our hairline. So we're going to talk about all of that today and more as we tune into Ask the Hair Doctor. So today we're going to just deal with some of these things, these challenges, these problems that a lot of you have with your hairline. And so our phone lines are open. I want to hear from you, because there's a lot to be said, but there's only certain things that need to be said. And there's a lot I'd like to say to you, but I may miss the question that you have. So we need to that's why I want to hear from you today. So if you have a question about your hairline, if you want to know why you're losing hair on the hairline, or why your hairline is dry and brittle, okay, then I am here for you to answer your question. Okay, my phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. Or you can call me at 1-800-503-9342, or my chat room is open. And let's make sure I got that over here. My chat room is open here today. If you're tuning in on YouTube, if you want to see me and just kind of chat with me that way, you can go to YouTube and just type in my name at Lisa Akbari. And we're going to go on live on Facebook a little bit. Not a whole lot. We're just going to let them know that we're alive and that they can call in, or they can just tune in via Facebook. And I see you guys are loading up. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show today, my cyber family. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you. And let's see if we can get our Facebook friends to come on in. Let's see if we can do that. Sometimes yeah, let's see, change. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Okay, let's see if we can, it will allow me to do a video. Let's do that. And sometimes, I have the biggest challenges trying to go live on my phone. And yeah, let's see if we can do it here. Like, that's not it. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to start, and I'm going to keep playing around with this a little bit to see if I can get my Facebook family on. And if I can't, we're just going to keep going. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm just not having all the best luck with this. Sometimes I can hit post and I can go and I can get right on and get you guys in on Facebook. And sometimes I just can't, and it just won't allow me to go live. Okay, all right, so yeah, let me try one more thing. And nope, that's not it. Okay, anyways, we're going to just keep going. All right, first we're going to start with the two categories of thinning hairline. Because even if you're thinning throughout the head, the hairline thinning is still a part of your head, your scalp here. And the hairline is where we find a lot of ladies having problems with thinning. So the first category is external, and you may have heard me say it, and internal. With external hair loss, thinning on the hairline, that would mean that it's something that's happening with the actual hairline on the surface level in the epidermis. So if you're losing hair and it's on your hairline and it's on the epidermis, there are several things that could be causing it. One, you could have damage to the actual epidermis itself, top skin, something that's causing that hair to thin. Let's talk about first-degree skin damage. First-degree skin damage is one of the causes, because first-degree skin damage on the hairline will cause you, it can come from burning with a relaxer, burning with a heated tool. If you have some type of dryness or irritation on the skin, then your epidermis layers are torn and worn, and then that could cause your scalp to self-pollute and create these blockages. So in other words, when you damage your skin, then that skin is going to start to shed and peel. Some of you will just pick off the little peeling, and you'll end up with problems with more peeling, and it'll cause a blockage. So the hairs per square inch will decrease in numbers because some of the follicles, the mouth of the follicle is blocked. So if that's the case, then that causes hairline thinning, and you will eventually notice the hairline will just get thinner and thinner and thinner. If it's something that's going on with the internal follicular problem, that means it may be female pattern. Usually we find that diffuse thinning along the hairline, and then within the hair, the body of the head. Well, that hairline thinning could be from hormonal problems. It could be female pattern baldness. It could be genetically linked, where the follicles are genetically programmed to malfunction at a certain growth cycle. It could be many reasons why we thin on internal medication. And that's called drug-induced. Certain medications can cause you to thin on within the internal portion of your follicle. It's where the follicle is actually developing its hair, so it can malfunction that way. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is that if you have that internal follicular problem, or if you have external follicular problem or hair loss or thinning, then you always want to have a hair and scalp analysis, because what the hair and scalp analysis will do, and you've heard me speak of this before, what it's going to do is it's going to allow me or another trichologist, you have to find one in your area, or you're welcome to come into my institute. It's going to allow us to see the mouth of the follicle, and it's going to allow us to see the actual hairline. And if that hairline, it'll show us what types of hairs are growing out of that hairline. It will also show us if there's any blockages or skin damage. Now let's start with the internal follicular problem. If there's an internal follicular hair loss, then what you're going to find is that hair is going to show a certain way. as it tries to emerge. You're going to see small villus hairs, like hairs that are lacking color, lacking length, and lacking um, texture, size, very small strands. Now, this is the thing about the hairline. You have to be really careful because the hairline can show what appears to be villus hairs, but it may be a true texture. It may be what your hairline texture should be. That's why it's so crucial for you to have the analysis, because what we do is we look at the hairs around the area and see if the hairline where you're thinning is consistent with the hairs in the areas right next door, right next to those particular hairlines. And if it's consistent with the texture, color, those two things within that group of hairs, then you know that's going to be normal. But if it's not consistent, then there may be some problems. So we look on the actual perimeter behind the hairline until we can find a pattern. And once a pattern is discovered, then we can determine whether that is something that's going to be natural or unnatural for your particular hairline. Also, we ask questions. Have you noticed the changes? Also, I look for uneven lines. And we look for, what that mean by that is lines where your hairline, you see how my line across my hairline, you can't see it if you're not online, but if you are, the hairline, it seems pretty even. It's one solid line. But when you have those jagged areas in your hairline where you can see through your hair, then that is a possibility that there are some density changes. We call it inconsistency in the density within the units. If that occurs, then that's hairline thinning, and it could be on a strand level, or, excuse me, it could be on an internal follicular problem or external. If it's external, you will see blockages around the mouth of the follicle. This is the microscopic view now. So it's really important. And I guess what I'm trying to get to is really important that you have a microscopic and physical examination of the hair and scalp if you are thinning on your hairline. Now, in order to determine which category, if it's external or internal. If you're just tuning in, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and for the next 45-50 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about hairline thinning or whatever you like to talk about as it relates to your hair and scalp. My phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. You can just download the iHeart app, and you can hear me anywhere from in the world. So, or you can look at online. I'm right there online. And if online, you can go to my YouTube page at Lisa Akbari, and you'll be able to get me right there live and in color. And or you can call me at 1-800-535-503-9342. That's 1-800-503-9342. And we're talking about hairline thinning. So if you have a question for me, my chat room is open. Let's see. Yes, it is. I've got it open there. And I'm saying hello to everyone. Or you can call me, again, at 901-535-9342. Let's talk about some of that unruly hairline. You know, sometimes when you want your hairline to do certain things and like lie down, you want it to be in control, but it won't. What some of the things that we do, let's talk about both relaxer and natural hair. When we have an unruly hairline where it doesn't lie down, or if it's dry, if it's brittle, if it's whatever's happening with our hairline, when we have those problems, then this is some of the things that we need to look at. One, we need to look at whether or not our hairline is being managed well. Because if you think about it, when we manage our hairline, that hairline here is exposed to our area of our face, our skin, right? Over our ears, on the neckline. And if we do not hydrate that hairline properly, then it's going to dry out. So nightly, if you are using special cleansers on your face, if you're doing things to your skin, on your face, on your ears, on your neck, then it's going to affect your hairline. So it's going to frizz. Hello, Karen. Thank you for joining us. It's going to frizz. So you're going to see that frizzy dryness of the hairline. It'll look frizzy and it'll feel dry. It'll look dull. So it won't be manageable. So what you have to do when you're cleansing your face and or you're showering or whatever, you want to get a headband. You want a flat headband, something wider than this. And you've seen me with the larger ones. And then you want to put it on your hairline, all the way around behind your ears and on the neck. Pull it all the way down, and then you want to cleanse your face. That way you don't get those pollutants from your cleansers, the cosmetics, in your hairline. So it won't eventually solidify, creating this blockage. Also, another tip when you are to work with unruly, dry, or thinning hairline, you want to make sure that, ladies, when you're putting your cosmetics on, you want to make sure that you put the headband on and just dust right over the top of it. I know a lot of times we're concerned about having that little line demarcation where our makeup ends. Well, we want to just take that and push it right on top of the hairline, so your band will be right here, and then you want to be ready to dust everything all in front of it, and that way you don't have to worry about getting those cosmetics in your hairline. So those are small things that make a major difference in your hairline and how manageable your hairline is. So on thinning hairline, and if you want me to spend more time on the thinning portion, which is I'm going to really work with that a lot today, because that's one of the topics and that I mentioned I would put a little bit more time on. You just ask the question. If you have a specific question, you can chat with me or you can call at 901-535-9342, and I'll be happy to answer that question for you. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the thinning, because I think we need to, there's many ladies out there, I think we need to spend a little more time with the thinning aspect of the hairline. All right. So we talked about the two categories of hair thinning. One category will be external. The other category will be internal. So now that we've talked about the two categories, we need to talk about some of the things that the internal, let's be more specific about the internal category, because so many ladies will say, well, I didn't start thinning, and men, until I started taking a certain medication. I didn't start thinning until I went on a special diet, or I didn't start thinning until I started getting a relaxer. We just have all of these things that we say about thinning. I thought I'd pull my, so we talked about hairline, but I pull my hair back and show my hairline. If you're online, you can see that I'm pulling my hair back and showing my hairline. There we go. Okay, now let's address the internal ones. They're basic, again, it's the same as if you were thinning throughout the body of the head. We talked about diffuse thinning. So if you look at your hairline, and your hairline is thicker here, thinner there, thicker here, thinner there, that could be diffuse thinning. Sometimes it's all in how you comb the hairline, but many times if you part the hairline and you see that you're developing this uneven, inconsistent parts along the hairline, then that could be something internal. If it's internal hair loss, it's where the follicle, when the follicle produces a hair on the inside, that's in the dermis area. When it produces that hair, then it is basically going to produce a hair that is going to travel up the follicle and it's going to emerge through the mouth of the follicle. The body is, of course, the follicle is a teeny tiny organ, and it's connected to, of course, your body systems. So if you're on a certain medication, there's certain medications that can cause the follicle to directly malfunction or indirectly malfunction. So if you're on medication, if it's directly malfunctioning, then what that's saying is that follicle itself is beginning to have problems with developing that hair because of the medication. That means when this developmental stage, for example, it may say with chemotherapy or radiation, we know that our follicles will not develop a hair during that time in many cases. So if that's the case, it's because the follicle has decided, though the body systems and the medication has decided that the hair follicle is a time, it basically it's in a time where it's part of that rapidly dividing cell that the chemotherapy needs to go after. And if that's the case, then it's going to cause those follicles to shut down. And follicles, rapidly dividing cells. Some of the most rapidly dividing cells within the body is when you're those growth cells within the hair follicle. So those particular cells can be a problem when chemotherapy. They can be on attack. We have a question on chat. It's Karen. She said, can massaging the hairline cause thinning? Let me move it over so I can really see. Here we go. Now, okay. She said, can massaging the hairline cause thinning? If so, how should we massage our hair, that area? Massaging the hairline cannot cause thinning, but rubbing the hairline can. And let me explain. You can massage with a pressure massage. If you plant your finger on your hairline, press and rotate the tissue. So you plant seconds, rotate the tissue, then you don't have a problem with it causing thinning. If you rub the hairline, rubbing, brushing, scratching, then it's going to cause friction thinning. So friction thinning comes from rubbing. So you can massage, but you cannot massage with a rubbing technique. Only time you can massage with a rubbing technique is when you are actually shampooing your hair. Because when you shampoo your hair, your fingers literally glide along your hairline. And if your fingers are gliding along your hairline, let's see if we've got a question coming in. If your fingers are gliding along your hairline, then you are not going to, you're not going to actually make the complete contact. Okay? All right. So let's see if I got your question answered, Karen. Thanks. Very helpful. Very good. All right. Because this is important. See, a lot of what I do here on the show is I'm just taking the time to make sure that I clear up some things, because something as simple as that's, it's just a really big deal. We have a question, and I don't think it was about this show. It might have been about split ends. Let's see if we can go back. Let's see. Hi, if you're just tuning in, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, and we're at our after Thanksgiving show. So many people are out and about, but you know what? It is a great show. Somebody had a comment about the video. How can you ask me a question? Okay, you can, and I think we did email her because that was an older message. She wanted to know you can email me any questions. So if you're out there wondering how can you ask me a question if it's a private question, then I'll be more than happy to help you. And you can email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com. And this one is, I am a cosmetology student currently taking classes in Michigan. Would I be able to purchase products? Yes, you can purchase my products. Absolutely. And we have special prices for cosmetologists and cosmetology students. So absolutely, you can purchase our product. Okay, so we're going to send her a link so that she can get products. And here we go. Let's see, do we have any other questions? Our phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And I'm sitting here with my fro. If you're online, let's see, what should I do? Should I open it in the middle? Should I open it? Oh, yeah, guys, I don't want you to forget. We are going to do the Cyber Get the Length program. Now, some of you are just on my regular Get the Length program. Hooray, that's great for you. But the Cyber Get the Length program is really super convenient. It also offers you an opportunity to have a little more one-on-one with me or in small groups, which is pretty cool, because that way we can do some live where you don't have to necessarily type in. You can just kind of raise your hand and I will say, hey, what's your question? And then you can just let me know and we can unmute, because we'll have the whole group. So I'm going to have you know, some small groups, as I said, and then I'll do some larger groups. But you can sign up for that, and your product comes to you automatically. You get, of course, the large sizes, you get products, you get a custom program, you answer the questionnaire. There's so many people I do that with, some of that with, but a lot of times you will have individuals who need that one-on-one time, and that's why I'm trying to form this group and just get this link together. So this is my year to stop testing on my hair. I'm going to, well, 2017 will be, and I'm going to actually just do more of the get the length and caring for it. Deep conditioning. I'm going to also show you things like webbing, show you some of the things that I see under the microscope. I mentioned deep conditioning and I kind of jumped, so sorry about that, guys. I'm just really excited about the cyber get the length. And I know we're talking about hairline, and some of you who are just tuning in going, wait a minute, I tuned in to talk about hairline, but we're going to get back to that. But I want to make sure I remind you to join the cyber get the length program. So we're going to talk about some of the things like the webbing and why is my hair sticking together? Why do I tangle? How do I prevent those things? How do I prevent those little balls from coming off on the ends, those kind of things? And you'll have that live with me right there, and you right there seeing what I'm doing. So that's just a pretty cool thing. So I just want you to make sure you email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, if there's nothing on my website yet about Get the Length, because my web designer is going to deliver a baby soon, and I don't know if she's done it. And if she has, oh my goodness, then that's maybe why some things are not up there yet. But we're going to do a clock countdown December, where we actually count down those 30 days till we get to our Get the Length Cyber Get the Length program. We have a question here. It says, will your mail-in strand hair, let's move that over a little bit. Okay, back to it. It says, will your mail-in strand analysis be able to tell us what may be causing the hair loss? Well, yes and no. The mail-in strand analysis will allow me to read your hair bulb. That means if you have a hair bulb that is more, how do I say it? If you have a hair bulb that's in the anagen stage, but it's actually shedding, anagen meaning growth stage, I will be able to say, okay, this is hair that's shedding from your scalp prematurely. If you have a telogen bulb, then I'll differentiate and say, well, okay, this is a natural shedding, and this one is a bulb that's premature. So then I can advise you to, okay, now you should go see your endocrinologist or your dermatologist or things like that. And the reason why I say it might be one or the other, because I'm going to look for clean strands. So you want to shampoo your hair, and when I say clean strands and clean bulbs, what I'm looking for are bulbs that don't have pollutants on them, scalp pollutants. If you've got an excessive amount of scalp pollutants around your hair bulb, when I do the strand reading, then that's going to tell me you've got a problem with some form of dandruff. So we need to have that addressed. We can address it, try to do a natural way at home, and then we have the ways that you can do this within your, we may have to see a dermatologist. So that would be a dermatologist. If there's a anagen bulb and you have a tremendous amount of those throughout, it's not just natural shedding, and I don't see any of the natural shedding bulbs, then I'm going to recommend probably an endocrinologist in your area. Those are things that I can help with in hair loss. But and I also look for pictures too, because I can look at certain patterns and it'll get with the bulbs, and it gives them an idea of what may be happening with your hair. But one of the things you want to think about as well is that when you have a hair and scalp analysis from a trichologist, you're going to get a microscopic view, handheld, that's all is pressing against your scalp, so we can read your epidermis, read the mouth of the follicle, and read things that will tell us more about the characteristics of the hairs that are growing from your scalp. So we have a stronger preventive component or piece to this whole analysis than you would if you just had strand samples. So while strand reading is helpful and it helps us to point into the right direction as it relates to hair loss, it does not tell me everything a microscopic and physical analysis can tell me. With that being said, if you have good density and you're losing hair, but you have thicker hair at the scalp but thinner hair on the strand, then I can absolutely give you a reason why you're losing hair on a strand level. I can let you know if it's heat damage, if we can repair, that heat damage, if it's chemical damage, or what's happening. So I deal with all of the those particular things with the strands. So that's where it's really helpful. So with that being said, so when you send in strand readings, it will allow me to do those things. And also, ladies out there, if you want to do strand readings, just please allow 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes even 8, to get those results back, because sometimes we get kind of behind with those, but I do them personally. So that's sometimes that gives us that delay. But I really, if you say, oh, I'm just desperate, and you give me your story, I may try to push you to the top of the pile. So now everybody will give me the story. But really, I understand how important it is. So I'm really going to really try to watch and make sure I can get those out as quickly as possible. But I do want to say that. Okay. All right. So if we have any questions, any more questions, my chat room is open. And my phone line is open at 901-535-9342. That's the 901-535-9342, or 1-800-503-9342. Okay, guys. All righty. All right. So we're talking about the hairline, and we just talked about the external and the internal. We talked about internal with medication. It could be, in other words, I talked about 2 different ways that medication could cause hair loss and hair thinning. It could be from the medication directly or indirectly. We talked about the directly. It will cause your follicle to malfunction. We talked about the chemo, radiation therapy. But I do want to say this, of course, as you know, when the chemo is no longer administered, then your hair will grow back. But I want to add this part. Don't worry about the fact that it's going to grow back. It's like really small strands initially. It will eventually, if you're taking care of your scalp, taking care of your hair, you will eventually get a true texture. Because sometimes it will try and grow back into true texture. In other words, it'll begin to emerge after several months at your normal texture. And then what will happen, you'll end up with it thinning because you've damaged it externally. So there's just something you really need to think about. Now, with that, let's look at the indirect reason why medication can cause hair loss. The indirect reason why medication can cause hair loss or hairline thinning is because when the strand emerges from the scalp, it is dry and brittle because your moisture levels have dropped. Some patients will say, well, you know, I use the same thing. I'm using, even with my product, they may say I'm using the same things. And then when we think about the medication that they're taking, after you're taking a certain medication, if it makes it dry and brittle, or even body disease, it can make it dry and brittle. So the cells that are forming the hairs are dehydrated. Water will help. Also, what you do to the surface will help. So you want to flush the system, make sure you're getting dehydrated, but you also want to make sure that you are doing things on a daily basis. For example, if you say, well, I moisturize every other day, you want to make sure you moisturize every day. If you say I'm moisturizing every day, you want to make sure you moisturize twice a day. And sometimes, especially in dry climates, you want to do that anyway. But when you're on medication and it's drying your hair out, you want to make sure that you're using your hydrating products, your moisturizers, twice a day if you are using it daily and it's not enough. All right, so just keep that in mind, because medication can cause an indirect and a direct cause of the hairline thinning or thinning. So because it will cause your strands to become dry and brittle, and that's speaking on a strand level. All right, so you can either have the strand growing out thin, internal, or you can have the strand thinning once it grows out, external. Alrighty, so now let's look at some of the other things that could cause a hairline thinning. One of the things that we hear about all the time, traction. Traction alopecia, alopecia meaning baldness. Traction alopecia means that your hairline, you can lose hair on your hairline because you are having your braids pulled too tight, you're having ponytails pulled too tight. Now let's talk about that a little more because we've all heard that part. Let's kind of dissect this whole little traction. What actually happens when your hairline is being pulled by braids or ponytails or weave or anything that you can put on the hairline? And we're going to talk about how you can prevent it. What happens when microscopically, what we look at, if I do an analysis on someone with braids, what I'm looking at, and microscopically, I can see swelling along the mouth of the follicle. We call it the MOF, the mouth of the follicle. Then I see where the hair has been pulled. I can see the follicular juices. So now you've got a swelling around the mouth of the follicle, traction. You've got the actual follicular juices that should be developing the hair bulb. They're actually coming to the surface. The lip of the mouth of the follicle is turning inside out. So now you have an open door for inflammation because you've got that tissue exposed. So that's the process. And that's why it's painful, because at that point your pain receptors begin to respond. And so your hairline just moves back further and further. And that sometimes can become permanent. Most cases, it'll break. You'll have the irritation. You'll see the little pimples around the hairline, and the hair will grow back. And you'll see the little short hairs begin to emerge. But more and more, we're finding that the hairline that thinning is becoming permanent due to the way the hairline is being handled with the traction. So how do you prevent all of that? Whether it's weaving, whether it's ponytails, whether it's braiding, it does not matter. Or locking, you always have to make sure the same. You have to make sure it's tight to the strand and not to the scalp. So when let's just say you have a ponytail. We'll start with that. Most common. You have to make sure that you can get your pinky finger underneath when you pull that ponytail back, when you go to bed, and you lift that ponytail, that hairline. Let's go to our phone lines. I'm going to stop right here. Hi there, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? Hello there. Do you have a question for me? Welcome to the show. I guess not. Sorry, I can't hear you. Call back, okay? Okay. All right. So as I was saying, when you lift that hairline, after you've got your ponytail on, then you're going to have that little space right along there. You take your moisturizer, smear around that hairline, and then you take a silk scarf and tie it down. So your ponytail will still lay flat, but you won't have that pulling. And you do it all the way around the entire hairline. When you are having your hairline weaved or sewn in because you're doing added hair or braided in, when you're doing that, then instead of braiding all the way to this area of the point, I call it point of departure, what you want to do is you want to have them do a plait straight out at about 1/4 of an inch. And then you want to make sure that they're plaiting it, but they have a little space right at the base. And then after they plait about 1/4 of an inch, and then they lay it down, and then they can do the rest of the braids. But they always want to make sure that they're not braiding it super tight. After it's braided or after it's plait, then if you're doing, let's do added hair first. If you're sewing it, or sewing as y'all call it, if you're sewing it in, then all you're going to do is sew the thread down, but tight to the thread to the braid, but not to the scalp. So you know how sometimes you sew it in, you pull way back. You don't want to do that because that causes hairline thinning. You want to sew in, and you want to take your finger, press the braid against, and then you sew through, or your stylist, of course, your braid technician or your weave technician, and then you're going to sew throughout. Once you sew that, then you actually want to check and make sure there's a little space so it's tight, thread to braid. Next, you're going to put they're going to have the weft on there, so they're sewing in your weave. You want to make sure that you don't feel that pulling. So there again, they're going to press your finger in there and they're sewing it weft, tight to thread and braid. So it's not tight to scalp. So what you don't want is it tight to the scalp. You want it tight to the thread and braid, the weft, thread, braid. And that's what you want. Weft is just the base of the weave. If it's pulling, then you're going to have a problem with the pain receptors are going to respond because you're going to have a problem with it hurting. Then you're going to have a problem with the pulling, traction on the follicle. Eventually, it's going to cause hairline thinning. So while weave is a good option or sewing, it's a good thing that's going bad because of for that very reason. Same with braids. When they're braiding, they want it tight to the braid, not tight to the scalp. And some will say, well, it won't look good. My hair will look messy. Well, it won't be messy because what you'll do is you spray. I have a braid program. You can go to lisaakbari.com and find that braid program. But you can, if you put your leave-in conditioner on, your moisturizer on, then take it and smooth through, put your oil to seal everything in, smooth right on top of the braids, tie it down before bed. When you get up in the morning, everything will be neat to the scalp without the traction. Those things cause hairline thinning. So ponytails can cause hairline thinning. You know what we're supposed to do. Rewind if you didn't get it. Braids can cause it. Added hair or weave or sew in. And these are all these protective styles. The problem you have is pulling too much to the scalp, the follicle. When that's pulled, then you're going to have a problem. So guys, remember that. If you're just joining us or just tuning in, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and we're here talking about hairline thinning. So if you're having problems with your hairline thinning, give me a call at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342 or 1-800-503-9342. Or my chat room is open. I know we've got bunches of you loaded onto and watching in. Thank you so much, my cyber family. I can always count on you. And I have patients that say, you know, I tune in all the time. I'm like, well, call in. But I guess they know because they get to see me. They don't need to call in. But if you're listening, you're learning, which is fine with me. I also never want to fail to mention my school. Because if you are interested in going into the hair industry, you are in Memphis, Tennessee local, then you can call my institute at 901-380-4445, and you will be able to, get a tour of my facility. We are excited about the Cosmetology Institute. Right now we have our natural hair class going on, and I think it's so crucial. We have classes going on all the time, but I think it's so crucial that the natural hair community have trichology intertwined into their classes, because I think that these things that I'm speaking of today, a lot of people go into natural hair salons and have their added hair done, or protective styles or transition styles, as y'all call them, or they have like certain types of heated tools, things like that. And if they don't understand how important it is, the temperature, it's never how often, it's the temperature. If they don't understand how important it is to the amount of pressure you put on your hair or on your weave when you're pulling and combing and sewing it in, excuse me. If they don't, those are things you learn in our school. You learn a lot about how to really take care of and practice healthy hair and scalp care, not just styling. I think those things are really crucial. And that's why I wanted to have a cosmetology institute. So we have classes starting. Also, if you're a professional out there and you want to get into the trichology field, I partner with Southwest College, and we have an online course. So wherever you are in the world, you can tune in to our online course and you can join our trichology program, which I'm really excited about. The classes start January 2017. Wow, can you believe it? Another year is coming around. Wow, wow, wow. But today, if you're just joining us, we're talking about hairline thinning. And I'm here each and every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. My phone lines are open, my chat room is open, and you can ask a question. If you just want to do something private and ask me a question, you can email me always at lisa@akbari.com, and I'll type that in and send it over my chat. It's LISA. Oops, wait a minute. I don't think it was typing in. There we go. All right. Oh my goodness. LISA at LISAAKBARI.com. And that's my email address. Okay, we have a question. How do you moisturize hair between shampoo days? All right, the way you moisturize your hair between shampoo days, it depends on what you have. Do you have relaxed hair? Do you have relaxed hair, or do you have natural hair? Are you wearing braids or a weave or anything, or just have a fro like you see mine? So that will be a good question, comeback question, and then I can tell you because, and we can just start going down the list until she gives me her answer. Well, number one, if you have relaxed hair, you want to hydrate with two things. One, you have to hydrate, but so many people are afraid of hydrating with relaxed hair. Well, there's two things. One, you have to have a towel, and you have to have your moisturizer. You put your towel here, your face towel, and your moisturizer. So you take your fingers, you part your hair, and then I knew you were going to say natural hair. Okay, you part your hair, and you take and you go into the hair close to the scalp to get on your new growth. You wipe your fingers off with a towel, and you part again, and you go to the hair close to the scalp, and you go from ear to ear, front to back. And that way you don't have it heavier on the ends than you do on the hair close to the scalp. And that's for new growth with natural hair. Now, let's talk about how we hydrate natural hair. Oh, that's what relaxed hair. Now we're going to talk about natural hair. Well, with natural hair, it's pretty simple. You have to always, it says, how do you moisturize hair between shampoo days? Okay, I want to make sure you have the question right. You start with the ends. You take a group of the hair, and you take the ends, and you look at the ends. You take your fingers and thumb, dip it in the moisturizer, your fingers, and then rub it on your fingers and thumb, and then you slide it on the ends. Why do you do that first? Because that's going to allow you to be able to open this hair and it slide through without you breaking or pulling it. And then from there, then you're going to start on your scalp hair, and then you're going to take your fingers and you're going to work that in the scalp hair, and then you're going to hydrate your fingers by pulling the moisture from the scalp hair, and then you getting on the ends, and you get in the body of the hair. So what you're going to have is ends first, scalp hair second, sliding your fingers and thumb down your strand, and you're working it through. So what you have there is very hydrated hair. So you go to the next row, and you go from ear to ear, front to back. Then you want to look at what type of moisturizer you need. Are you needing, if your hair is feeling really dry and brittle, especially during these dry months, whether you have a patient going to Arizona, it's really dry, she's going to equally dry out if she was in cold weather. So you're still going to dry out, but it's just a different type of drying out. It's all dehydration. So you may need a hydrating moisturizer, like something that's going to, none of that sounds contradiction, hydrating moisturizer, they both hydrate. Well, there's some that go in deeper into the cuticle, and it's called, we have one called Hydration. It's wonderful, and you can go to Lisa Akbari for that, and that's LISA. Oopsie, I have to remember, get on the screen. LISAAKBARI.com. COM. She said, I'm in Arizona. Wow, LOL. Yes. Laugh out loud. Arizona, I'm telling you, it's brutal on our hair. And you do need to hydrate every day because you guys are in the desert. So you need it and you're dry and brittle. So yeah, I would start on the ends and then go to the scalp and work it through. The hydration would be the one that I would definitely choose if you're trying to do more shampoo and go. If you're doing more like definition to the curl pattern, like I use two things today because it's winter here and it's changing the weather. Like it's warming up a little bit to about 50, I think it's 52, 53, something like that right now. But earlier it was much colder. So I did two moisturizers today. I used one just for hydration because I knew I was having that added coldness. So it's drying, house warm, outside cold. So that's trauma. That's traumatic experience for your hair. So what I did was put my hydration on first, and then I put on my Moisture Plus moisturizer. Now you have the option to do Moisture Plus moisturizer, or you can do your naturally textured, because they both will give you some definition. As you can see, I have a little bit of definition in my hair, but I love a frizzy fro, so I'm going to have more of that than anything. But let me put both of those links up here. Let's go over here and let's get that link on. There we go. And I'm going to get a link on the moisturizers that I use so that you can have them. And we're going to go to my online store. So if you have a question for me, I'm right here. And we have a few more minutes before the show ends. So I want to try to get these links up there for you. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari. It's been a great show. You know, guys, we've been talking about hairline thinning. You can email me. You have my email address there. It's lisa@lisaakbari.com. If you have any questions for me, we're here each and every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, I'm going to take a little vacation, so I won't be here the 5th. I think that might be next Sunday. Ooh, I'm going to get a little break out here, and then I'll be back. I'll be back with you guys. You know I'm going to come back, and then we'll have Christmas. You know, Christmas is on Sunday, and New Year's is on Sunday, so I won't be here Christmas and New Year's. I mean, I would be here Christmas, but I'd be by myself. You guys wouldn't be here. I know you'll be with your family, and so you should. So let's get those up. So those will be my 3 days that I'll be out next Sunday, and then the New Year's Day and Christmas Day. But you know you can always email me. I'll find a way to get to you. Okay, let's go to our support products before we run out of time. And we're going to let me give you just this one link here that has all of them on there. That will be a good one. And that'll save us some time. Let's go back. Okay. And if we have any other questions, thank you. You're so welcome, my dear. Okay, here we go. Now this will give you some information about both of my, there we go. That's the link. And when you go on that support, that's my support system, because there are 3 categories of hair. There are three categories of ways to work with your hair. You have your care, and you have your support, and then you have your style. So this is my support category. And on the support, you have your moisturizers. They support how healthy your hair is, and they also support how your hair is styled. And that's how I try to break it up. So this is my support products. Wow. How much time do we have, Mark? Because we came on early today. This has been a great show. We got about 3 minutes left, and before we will end the show today. But your questions, again, you see my email address. It's lisa@lisaakbari.com if you have questions for me. And if you need products, we have, oh my goodness, tomorrow we have Cyber, I almost forgot, that would be bad. We have Cyber Monday. So look for my Cyber Monday sales. We've got some great sales. We've been doing the Black Friday and all these sales, but we have some Cyber Monday sales. And you may be able to get some specials on some of those products. Don't forget to email me if you want to join my Cyber Get the Length program. We are going to get super, super length. I've been conducting these studies on my hair, and you know, how do we have problems with our hair? Why do we get those little fairy knots? Why do we get those little, why can't we get length and all these problems? Well, now we're going to have really long hair, and we're not going to have to do a sew-in or a protective style. We're going to have long hair with our fro, you know, or we're going to have long hair with our relaxer if we want our relaxer. And I am going to show you just how to do that with our Cyber Get the Length program. So make sure you email me, Lisa at lisaakbari.com, if you want to join. Make sure you get our Cyber Monday sales, because they'll be online tomorrow. I think they're going to kick in early in the morning, like midnight, 12:01 or something crazy like that. But it will be by the time you wake up, you will have those Cyber Monday sales. So I love you guys so much. You guys are wonderful, and I will see you next. Well, I won't see you next week, but the following week, and we're going to be talking some more about hair. Let's see. I think I have about a minute left. Let me see if I can get to our next week's topic. Do we have time? He said, "Wind it up." Well, I'm going to make it a surprise to you guys. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your week. God bless you. To God be the glory in Jesus. Okay, guys, I can at least tell you guys what my next topic is, because I can do my online as long as I want to. Oh my goodness. Woo! I can take this thing off and you guys can see my fro. But you know, actually, I have not been really doing what I'm supposed to do with my fro, but I'm still getting longer. Already it's beginning, because I'm not doing as many abusive things to it, like combing through tangles and things that really cause a lot of problem. Detangling, and y'all are going to learn in our Cyber Get the Length program, and please join up, guys. It's going to be so much fun in 2017. It's going to start January 2017. Because you're going to learn about how detangling, just the mere fact that you detangle, cause problems. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to cut out of here. Let's quickly look at what my next show will be about. Let's see what we have here. We can go to the home page and we'll find it out. Since we ran out of time. Here we go. There we go. It's so crazy. You guys see, now I'm on my own site, and it's so easy to navigate, but I do have to take time. I have to read. I have to say, okay, where are you? Okay, let's take a look. Now, here we go. It's just a busy site, and I have to make sure. So you click on under news, and then it has a list of the archive show, and then it will have what shows that are coming up. And see what our next show. And you would think I would have all set in my mind, but I don't. Here we go. Memorized, in other words. Okay, now my computer's being slow. It's just, I'm determined not to be able to tell you guys. Okay, guys, let's see. Here we go. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Here we go. November. It'll be December by then, right? Yeah, December 4th. And they still have, oh, you know what? I will be here next week, because it's December 4th. Yes, healthy body, healthy hair. That's what we're going to talk about. That's pretty cool, because, you know, as we move into January, we're thinking about, I'm going to get healthier. But is our hair healthy? So that's good. I'm so sorry I told you guys I wouldn't be here. I think it's the 11th that I won't be here. I need to have that together, right? Yeah, I know. You guys are my cyber family, so you know we mess up sometimes. Okay, guys. Well, I love you so much. Mwah. To God be the glory in Jesus. You guys have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see if we have any more chat questions before I get out of here. Let's see. Wait a minute. Let's get to our, where are you? Here you are. Let's see. Anybody have a question for me? If not, we're going to end our day and you're going to get on with your Sunday. No, I don't have any more questions. All right, guys, I love you so much, and I will talk to you really soon. Okay, have a wonderful, blessed morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on when you're tuning in. Okay, goodbye.